Hello, welcome along. Sorry, I'm really jet lagged.
How was New York?
It was amazing.
What did you do?
A lot.
This is going to be a great podcast.
But yeah, should we start? Gay! Oh, I'm so gay!
And a non-gay, yeah.
Why did you text your girlfriend the other day saying that you'd been for a long run and felt quite emotional? I got a text message from your girlfriend saying, Dan just told me he went for a long run and is quite emotional.
There's nothing funny about this, by the way.
I think it's really funny.
If that's what you're getting at. Why?
I think it's really funny.
Why?
Why don't you think it's funny?
What?
I just can't imagine you getting emotional.
Based on what?
Based on the fact you're a lad, aren't you? Did you hear how you opened the podcast? Yeah. Like, I mean, like, that, you know, I couldn't imagine you getting emotional, but I'm intrigued. Why did you get emotional? How long was the run, and why did you get quite emotional, Dan?
It wasn't that long of a run, but it's probably the longest run I've done in a while.
That wasn't an answer to the question. How long was the run, and why did you get quite emotional, Dan?
It was probably like 7 or 8 miles.
That's quite a long run.
Which is the longest I've done in a while, yeah.
Not bad.
There's nothing funny about this. Like, I don't know, or if there is, this happens to everyone. Anyone who does the London Marathon, for example, will be close to tears or crying for the last mile or so.
The London Marathon, which is 24 miles, not 8.
Well, I think you'll find actually it's 26.2 miles.
Please, who cares? I don't care.
Well, you would care.
I don't think everyone running the London Marathon. There might be people listening to this, but depending on when we upload it, there might actually be people running to the London Marathon listening to Gay and a Non-Gay, so hi to you.
That is true. Well, the London Marathon is this weekend.
Yeah. Although, by the way, we've been uploading these podcasts, this one will probably be out in August.
Yeah, other marathons are available.
Other marathon? Oh yeah, they could be running any marathon. So hi, this is not a marathon special. But anyway, So you were running 8 miles and you got quite emotional. Yes, I understand Paula Radcliffe got very emotional when she ran the London Marathon and beat her best time ever, whatever. Yeah. But that isn't you. Where were you running?
I was in Southampton. I was running over a bridge and then back again.
Southampton.
Yeah,
you just got emotional in Southampton. You got so
James thinks it's hilarious.
You got quite emotional running over a bridge in Southampton.
I hadn't done it for a while, and I was listening to Bruce Springsteen at the time, which doesn't help.
Which song?
Born in the USA, actually.
Okay.
And it was, I don't know what the...
Why did it make you emotional?
It's a great song. It's a really upsetting song, actually.
Why?
If you know the backstory. Well, it's about American military veterans coming back from the Vietnam War and being treated badly by the government.
Right. How do you relate to that, Dan?
Well, I don't necessarily. You don't have to be in the same situation as someone to empathise with them, do you? I remember my history teacher in school, who was called Mr. Flood, who is absolutely legend.
Mr. Flood.
Mr.
Flood. Why didn't he teach geography? He should have taught geography.
Well, yeah, maybe he should have done. Actually, as a side point, there was, at one point, the school did flood, and he wasn't allowed in his room, and he was explaining to everybody, and he's got the most deadpan voice. He's an absolute legend. He was like, and rather ironically, there was a flood in my room, and me and my friend Ed were like on the floor. Well, we've been on the floor about that joke for literally about 15 years. Absolutely hilarious. Anyway, he taught us all about...
I found that really funny, and that's because I'm so tired. Right. It's probably not very interesting.
No, it is funny. It's
Mr.
hilarious.
Flood had a flood.
Yeah, it's probably the funniest thing that ever happened.
You wouldn't insure Mr. Flood, would you? It would be very difficult to get home insurance if you call Mr. Flood, Steve. Why am I finding this funny? It's not funny. It's not funny at all.
He was hilarious.
Right.
Do people take their piss out of your surname?
Bar?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I got called Mars Bar, Chocolate Bar. That's not funny.
Yeah, it is.
I got that all the time. Barbie.
That's good.
That's clever, that one.
Yeah.
That takes a little bit more intelligence, so I'll give them that.
What about, do people go, oh, do you want to go to the bar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the time. I had a teacher called Mrs. Bird, right? She taught maths. Why do they have such rubbish names, these teachers? She taught maths, and her blouse popped open once in a maths class, and literally, my friend William and I were sat there, and we could literally see straight into her bosom. I think that's why I'm gay.
Right. Was it not a...
I mean, she was in her 60s.
She wasn't...
Good bra, though.
She wasn't a bird.
No, she was not a bird.
No,
I would never have thought of that joke, because I don't refer to women as birds. Where were we? I don't even know what we were talking about.
No, we were talking about what I was getting emotional.
Oh,
blah, blah, blah.
yeah. So you were getting emotional. I mean, I just don't really understand why you get emotional. What's wrong with you? Why are you getting emotional? I run all the time. I don't get emotional.
Well, I bet you don't run that far for a start.
What on earth are you? That's major shade. Why are you throwing shade at me?
No, but this is such a.
I do run.
We now spend 8 minutes talking about it.
I run 8 miles. I've run a half marathon. I've done a triathlon.
Did you not get emotional when you did the half marathon?
Well, yeah, but I'm doing a half marathon. I'm not running over some
a little bit longer than 8 miles.
I'm not running over some boring bridge in Southampton.
Why is it a boring bridge?
Which bridge was it?
I can't remember what it was called. I was having a good week. I was listening to Bruce Springsteen. I was thinking about my history teacher who taught us all about Vietnam and Bruce Springsteen.
Mr. Flood.
I cried when I did the last marathon that I did, but I mean, everybody does that. At least in part because it's
I don't think I did. I think I took a selfie when I finished the half marathon.
There's a difference between a half marathon and a marathon.
I did a triathlon.
In fact, a marathon is...
I did a triathlon.
Well, that is not as much as a marathon.
What? No, it is. Swimming in the Thames, cycling, and then running.
Yeah, but it's not 26.2 miles of running, is it?
No, it's like swimming in the Thames, then cycling, and then running.
Yeah, but it's not...
I didn't cry. So I think I'm more of a man than you, that's all I'm saying.
Okay, well, why don't we do the London Marathon?
I'm not doing the London Marathon.
Well, exactly.
How are we going to get into that? I don't want to do it. It's boring.
It's boring?
How are we going to... Yeah, it's boring.
Well, no, I don't mean do it this week, obviously. I was thinking when I was running, actually the time may be here for me to come out of retirement and do a third and final.
Come out of retirement. You just think you're such a big deal. It's really funny.
I am in the top 1% of people in the world who have done a marathon.
Is that really only true? Is that true?
Yeah, that's true.
It. Only 1%.
1% of the world.
I think 99% of the world are really clever. If you've done it as well, you've ticked that box. Unless you're going to go do like Paris Marathon or New York Marathon.
I've done that one as well, actually.
Have you?
I've done Paris, yeah.
Have you?
Yeah.
Wow, Dan, I'm really impressed.
Thanks.
That's really great.
3:57.
Trey Bihan. What's your best time?
3:57.
In Paris?
Yeah.
I remember my triathlon being sub 2, and I thought that was pretty good.
Right, okay.
Like that means...
so you're already admitting that it's like half the time of a marathon, but yeah, you think it's a harder thing to do. Here's the question. The Thames is quite dirty. Is it not quite bad for you to get in it? Where did you get in it?
At XL, near London. Me and Alexandra Burke. Who's Jade Goody's husband?
I know the guy you mean. I can't think what it's called. Jeff Brazier.
Yeah, he was doing it as well. It was me, Jeff, and Alexandra in the Thames.
Right. Was it some sort of fundraising event for...
Yes, it was for charity, yeah.
And was it only C-list celebrities doing it?
Well, thank you for the compliment.
Well, anytime. I like it. I actually
which C-lists were you doing it with?
I was doing it with several A-lists, actually.
Right.
By the way, I like Alexandra Burke. I think she's really nice. Don't let me start without you. That was a sick tune.
Oh my God, did that just happen?
Yes.
Wow.
What is it? Bring up your cup. Don't let me start. Anyway, what else? That's that. That's that done. How was New York?
You asked me that a minute ago, and I said it was great.
I know, but you didn't really allude.
I'm really tired. There's nothing worse than coming back from a holiday, like an hour ago, getting in a studio with someone or meeting anyone in public. Like, if you go on holiday, right, this happens all the time, doesn't it? You go away, you have an amazing time, but you're kind of tired, but you go back to work straight away, and everyone goes, how was your holiday? Oh my God, how was your holiday? Oh my God, oh my God. And you're like, yeah, I'm really tired. Please don't talk to me.
Well, why didn't you just take another day off?
This is my day off.
Well, thanks for spreading it.
I know. I just had to I had to have a few meetings just to kind of, because I'd been away so long.
Right. What happened in New York that means you don't want to talk about it?
Oh, okay. All right. It was fun. It was really good. I did loads of things. I went to Broadway. I saw this incredible show called Fun Home.
Right.
So
Pat Sharp lives in New York now.
That joke was sponsored by 1994. Anyway, they serve wine in a plastic cup.
Yes.
What is that about?
In case you throw your wine glass.
Why would I
but it's like if you go to a gig, it's the same thing.
Yeah, but it's a Broadway show. Who's throwing a glassing someone at a Broadway show? And anyway, they have guns in America. They don't need glass. They have to worry about glass, do they?
True, that's a fair point.
Just get the guns out.
But maybe this is...
Not that I'm suggesting that's a good thing. Obviously, I hate that. But anyway, it's just really random that they don't trust you with glass. in a country where guns are legalized.
For any American listeners, again, NonGay.
We actually do have some international listeners.
Does support your Second Amendment rights.
Anyway, so I just saw like loads of different things. I did an improv course, which was really good. If you're interested in improv, you should do a Free Association improv course. Podcast LDN is sponsored by the Free Association, freeassociation.co.uk. How good was that? That was almost like seamless. But I did a course.
I'm actually doing one of those courses now.
Are you fantastic?
Yeah.
A Free Association?
Yeah.
Oh, congratulations, Dan. That's really great. I'm really happy you said that because I was actually going to tell you to do one. So
okay.
Can we high five?
What a sponsored sell.
Did they give it to you free because of our...
No, pay for it.
Great.
Well, by the way, you know you can get to New York from Southampton.
I also...
on a boat.
What, like the Titanic from 1912?
Well, yeah, basically.
Yeah, I had heard of that system. You just pitched that to me like they'd built a new Eurostar.
No, but you can get...
I know you can get boats.
I really want to do it. It takes 7 days.
I also... Oh, stop talking. Just let me try and remember. I also hung out loads with Alaska from RuPaul's Drag Race.
I don't know who that is.
That is a huge name drop.
Is it? Well, I imagine so.
If I was with a gay, they would be like, oh my God, wow.
Well... You're not. I know. I've never seen it. I know. Well,
You've never seen RuPaul. What? You've never seen RuPaul's Drag Race?
No. Well, I know that she is. Or is it a he or she? Like, what's the term? I don't want.
You stepped away from the microphone and then like that is so funny. Okay, well let's start from the beginning.
Okay, let me just clarify. I don't know how RuPaul wants to be referred to. Okay, firstly, I have no idea if RuPaul is a man or a woman or if she is transgender or whatever.
The key is in the title of the show.
I don't mind which one.
No, I think that's it. You're just being...
I'm just trying to clarify which one...
No, you're just being ignorant. You're not being...
No, I'm not being ignorant. I'm just trying to clarify which one RuPaul is.
I said that as a joke. You're not being ignorant.
Well, You're
just not sure. That's fine.
You can't be too
I get
careful.
it. You're a non-gay. I get it. RuPaul's Drag Race, it's drag queens.
Right. So, hang on. Let's just clarify. A drag queen is someone who is a man who is dressing up as a woman. Right.
That's correct.
Fine.
You can also get drag kings, which is the other way around.
Really? I've never heard of that.
I haven't really seen that. It's not a huge thing.
Drag kings?
You know, like a woman dressing as a man.
Interesting.
Anyway, Lady Gaga did it when she dressed up as that other character, probably at the Oscars, was it? Like a couple of years ago? Or I can't remember what award show that was. Anyway, but that's so that RuPaul is a man and he also has a drag queen.
Right. He also has a drag queen?
Yeah, he's also a drag queen.
Right. What do you mean he has a drag?
I just mean as in his like drag queen character.
Right.
So he presents the show as both. But you've never seen it?
No.
So what do you think it's about? You've heard of it?
Yeah, I've heard of it. I've heard of RuPaul.
You better work. What do you think it's about?
Well, if it's a drag, I don't know. I mean, it's obviously not like Top Gear for drag queens, is it?
What do you want? Like they're all in a car having a race.
Well, I'm saying that's what it's not.
Oh my God, that's so funny. Well, it's not. That is so funny.
No,
I could just like Jeremy Clarkson as a drag queen is my favourite image ever.
It's not funny because I'm saying it's not that. But obviously there is a term drag race, which means that, which they're obviously using as a play on words.
Right, no.
So you might be saying, you think it's hilarious, but...
It's not Top Gear.
No, I know it's not.
RuPaul is not outside the Houses of Parliament creating tyre marks.
No. So it's like a Miss America.
Yes, it's like America's Next Top Model, but drag queens. It's awesome. It's so fun. It's so fun. And it's, and anyway, Alaska is one of the biggest contestants. She's like famous for being like, hi. But I really want to get her on the podcast.
Well, fine, do it.
I feel like we should.
Yeah, but I mean,
I'm going to invite her on the podcast.
You can ask her the questions because I don't really know what.
No, I want you to.
Well, what I'm going to ask her?
I don't know. Whatever you want to ask a drag queen. No, you're scared of drag queens, right?
I'm not scared of them. I don't understand them. Like, what's the deal?
What do you mean?
So, for example, I don't mind going to gay clubs because they're actually quite fun, and like I don't have a problem with pop music up to a point. What?
I just can't stop myself laughing at you. Carry on.
It is a bit difficult because you have to constantly be like on your guard a little bit, but I will.
What?
I will.
Oh, Dan!
No.
I'm really disappointed you said that.
No,
do you really mean that? You
Yeah,
got to be
I
on
do.
your guard. Why?
Because the first time I went to a gay club, which was the Queen's Court in Leeds, I was like constantly getting like felt up by blokes or whatever, and it wasn't a particularly fun time. But
There are a lot of blind people in Leeds.
But I accept that I'm in their territory or whatever, and I can't. I accept that it's probably much worse being gay in a non-gay or primarily non-gay club, right? So fine.
It's just as bad for me the other way around.
I would argue it's probably worse for you.
I
is what I'm
don't.
saying.
Well, okay, so I was in a club in New York and a load of guys were touching me and I didn't like it.
Right.
I was like, I don't know you. Well, you haven't even like given me eye contact first. Why are you touching me?
I
Don't
was
like
actually-
this. And so to be honest, that's not just because you're not gay that you don't like that. It's just because that is something that's not very nice for
No,
anyone.
Fine. I was actually in a gay bar in New York because I was with Talia and I was with two blokes who you probably know much better than me, actually, who were gay. And I was at the... And oh, God's sake, don't be like, oh, well, because they're gay, I know them and I'm gay. Like,
Well, that's what it sounded like.
No,
You
it
said
didn't- it
that-
didn't sound-
It did sound like that.
No, it didn't sound like that. Anyway.
Well, how do I know them then? Who are they?
Because I think I just think that you do know them because I think, like...
Probably. We have a gay network called The Gay Book.
What's his name?
I don't know all gay people.
Aleem, he's called.
Oh, okay, I do
So
know.
you do know him. As suspected. Anyway, I was with him, and
He's awesome.
His mate or boyfriend, I can't remember, and Talia, and I was at the bar getting around in. Like Talia came up behind me at the bar and like gave me a hug or whatever, and then
And you're like, whoa, get off me!
no, I continued to get the drinks in, and then I realised it wasn't fucking her.
That's really funny. That is really funny. No way.
And then I was like, shit. The guy did one.
Anyway, so I had a lovely time with Alaska from RuPaul's Drag Race, but
Right.
I think we should invite Alaska onto the show. Would you ever do drag?
Well, I probably would actually. I probably wouldn't care. I considered it once because when I went to see Limp Bizkit at Brixton Academy,
The look, I'm like, what?
Fred Durst obviously got a load of girls on stage at the end for Rolling. And as you can imagine, I was annoyed that this event was exclusive to females. Although I understand why it had to be, because you can't just invite 85% of the crowd on stage. But I did think, if he's going to do that next time, maybe I'll drag up so I can go on stage because that'd be hilarious. But I didn't. And he didn't do that either, so that would have been a waste of time.
It would have been a very funny
It would have
moment.
been worth it to go on stage during Rolling at Limp Bizkit at Brixton Academy, wouldn't it?
I think you'd look quite good in drag.
I'm trying to think, have I?
I don't know if I
Yeah, well, I've dressed up as...
You could be the new Conchita.
I dressed up as what's that Flintstone woman called?
Wilma?
I dressed up as her for an Otley run.
An Otley run, that's a Leeds drinking
It's a
festival,
Leeds
right?
drinking pub crawl. Yeah.
Oh, did you? You got
Yeah,
pictures?
Yeah.
Can we post one with this podcast?
Yeah.
Great. Gay, non-gay.
It's gay, non-gay. Yeah.
At gay, non-gay.
And,
We're the worst podcasters.
That was quite funny. I
What?
bumped into another Wilma Flintstone on the run as well, which was
Did you?
amusing.
How
Yeah.
funny. I also met a really interesting couple while I was in New York who they're married, this couple,
That's interesting.
and they have a boyfriend.
What do you mean? They both have a boyfriend,
No, they're married to each other.
and the couple has a boyfriend.
Yeah.
Right.
They're a throuple.
Is that a term that exists, or is that something you just coined?
No, that's
I
the
don't
thing.
know. That term doesn't really work.
That's the thing. And they
Right.
were telling me they have sex with multiple partners all the time together, but then they've just stuck with this one person for a while. But apparently when they went on a honeymoon, they renamed it a slutty moon
Right.
because they just went on Grindr and like slept with loads of other guys.
Right.
How does that feel to you as a non-gay?
How does it feel?
Yeah, I just wonder what your thoughts on that situation are, because that's quite a big thing. Obviously,
Well,
these
it's
people
not
will
really-
remain.
it doesn't
Obviously,
really
these people will
matter.
remain anonymous. They're a couple that I met in the States, so no one knows them.
It doesn't really matter what
And
my...
it's not those people that we're not allowed to talk about.
You know who it is, you don't need to ask me.
I'm just checking,
You're more of showbiz than
Anyway,
I-
right, it's not
than I am.
them I'm talking about. But what do you think about that whole thing?
Well, I don't really think anything about it.
Like, no, because I don't know if I like it as a gay, and I probably should be okay with it. I should be like, yeah,
Well,
that's
what do you
fine.
mean, do I like it? Do I want to do it? No.
Okay.
Like, is it a bit like? Do I think they should be? Sorry.
Don't do it now.
Sorry, I'm just unzipping my coat because I've still my coat
Dear
on.
Talia,
Hold on.
Dan and I have decided to be boyfriends.
There is now an interlude.
Okay, Dan's just taking his coat off because he's getting hot thinking about this, this throuple situation.
It's hot.
It's getting hot.
No,
Good
well,
t-shirt.
the logistics of it seem like a minefield to me. So James is laughing at my work pass.
You look really aggressive.
Well, I was in a bad mood.
You look like you're on Crime Watch. Please continue with what you were saying.
No, well, I wouldn't be able to do it, no. And there'll be so many logistics of it that I just wouldn't be able to get by. You know, if you've got a particularly tight friendship group, I'm not saying, I do. I'm not saying that I have one of 3 people. But...
Sorry, I will laugh to the word tight then. I'm such a child.
Yeah, I just chose to ignore that one. If you've got 2 mates and you're already good friends as a 3, that's a logistically difficult thing, let alone, like, if you're all smashing each other.
Yeah, like if you're all at Nando's and you don't know how to split the bill 3 ways because 2 of you have wine and 1 of you didn't, it's all a bit complicated, and 2 of you are a couple, so you feel like you should pay. But yeah, or
that's difficult enough.
If you're in IKEA and 2 of you want to hold hands. But yeah, no, I mean, how do you do that? It's a nightmare.
Although
and how do you share a bed? Have you ever shared a bed with 2 other people? Have you ever done that?
Yeah.
Yeah, whether threesome or not, but like it's awful.
It's
awful because there's one of you in the middle and you can't get out.
Some people are really funny.
Trapped by the duvet.
If you're in the middle?
Yeah.
I don't think I've been in the middle.
Imagine being in a throuple and having that every night. I'd hate that. I love spreading out in my bed.
That's a really good point. Anyway, I don't really have an opinion on it, other than it wouldn't really be something that I'd be able to pull off. Do you know what I mean? That's not funny. That's not funny. That's not funny.
My humour bar is like really low.
We're going to end up on innuendo bingo at this rate.
I saw you.
Would you be in a throuple?
Huh?
I hate the term. These terms these days is so annoying. It's just like we're so lazy. We're taking the first letter from one thing, the rest of the word from the other one, and now we've just made a term out of it. The worst being Brexit. Obviously, it's an awful term. I can't believe that everybody, including the BBC, is using it. But thruple is just as bad
as Brexit. Which would you rather, thruple or Brexit? Well, I genuinely don't. I'm open to it.
You should give it a go.
I don't know. I can't even get one boyfriend, let alone 2. That's my point.
You're not getting on that well with the couple, so why not try
and find a thruple?
Or even a quadruple. I mean, that one makes sense, because that's literally what that word is. Quadruple.
A quadruple. Oh yeah. I don't know. Like, I feel like I don't know.
A quintuple.
I could probably do it. I don't know. It depends on what the rules were. Like if it worked, but I don't think it does work. I don't think it's possible. And I think if you had children and you had like a throuple, that would be really confusing for the child, and I wouldn't want to put them through that. And like also, it's just socially awkward, which I wouldn't really want to be. And I just don't see the need for it. Like if you love someone, you should just want to be with them, right? But having said that, I could understand then if a couple got bored and then decided to go, okay, well, let's bring in a Chinese tonight. And by that, I did actually mean a takeout. I was trying to use an analogy about takeout in terms of gay sex, but I accidentally made it sound like I meant a Chinese boy. Other nationalities and takeaways are available.
Dishes are available.
Takeaways and dishes are available.
Did you enjoy any gentlemen in New York?
There was this one guy, and he okay. Oh my goodness. Has anyone noticed that we've moved into the explicit section, by the way, on iTunes? We've now got an explicit stamp, and this is why. I did. Okay, so I took a guy back.
Took it back to the shop.
No, I'm just so worried about who's listening now.
Did he deflate?
What?
Sorry, this is...
What do you mean? So yeah, I took the guy back, and he, and basically he'd finished.
Finished what?
He was done.
Right.
This is too close to put out.
Is this a random man?
Yeah. I mean, I knew his name. I don't remember it now. And anyway, he just left. He was like, cool, see you soon, mate. He was like, see you soon. And I was like, well, I literally laughed in his face. I was like, well, you won't. Bye.
Where? Sorry, this was where?
At the hotel I was at.
Right. So he came back to yours.
He paid for the cab.
So he paid for the cab, went back to yours, spaffed, and then did one.
What's that word? Well, I've never heard that before in my life. That's such a horrible word. A non-gay term for like...
What term would you use?
Spaffed. Spaffed, what's that? It's so gross. Spaffed.
So, right.
Right, I think this episode is spaffed.
Although, we haven't finished talking about this, so maybe it hasn't.
Okay.
But did you not say, hang on, I haven't finished?
No, well, of course not. Why would I do that?
I haven't started.
I haven't spaffed. No, why would I say that? Would you?
I
didn't really
don't
care.
know. I mean,
I was bored anyway. I was over it.
it's a bit of a waste of time, though. But at least you didn't pay for the cab.
No, exactly. Free cab.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, although technically that is known as.
What?
Well, if he's essentially paying for your services there, so that's called.
No, he's not. He's
something
paying
else.
my expenses. He paid my expenses.
Okay, maybe we should spaff this one out.